Hey, it's been a while since I've done a video on YouTube, and a gentleman that trains with me a lot, and I call a good friend, is Justin Humphreys. Justin, he runs the Angry Security Guard channel there on YouTube. Justin's been a security guard down in Nashville for quite a while. He works a lot of armed accounts and things, and he was talking about had a subscriber ask him, "Why do you carry extra magazines? What's your thought on carrying extra magazines?" Um, so some people might call it overkill. I carry two extra magazines, one in the gun and then two on my belt, and I carry a small backup on my ankle or some other place. I try to make sure that my backup can take the magazines that I have on my belt. I like the Glock 19 or Glock 17 platform, Glock 45 platform, and then I have a Glock 26 generally on my ankle that can take the same magazines. Some people ask me, well, why do you carry so many guns? Well, first of all, a backup gun can be used to arm someone who doesn't have a gun, and say an armed robbery or an active shooter that we're trying to get ourselves out of. Okay. The next thing is a backup gun's great in case your main pistol goes down on you. Now let's talk about backup ammo and magazine sources. The reason why I like carrying extra magazines, there's several reasons. Today, there's so many multiple assailants anymore. People don't just rob like single individuals and stuff like this. I kind of wrote these things down, so I'm going to kind of look at them. So just bear with me. I want to make sure I cover this. Justin said something about being in some high-risk areas. Well, first of all, I always teach you in my classes to stay away from those areas. The best thing to do to win a fight is not be in a fight. So if you have the question with the 4S's, don't be doing stupid things with stupid people and stupid times and stupid places, then don't be there. You won't have to use your gun. But I know what he's saying on his side of being armed security or being a law enforcement. In my case, I'm being a paramedic and being armed, or working in corporate security, or as a executive protection agent. I have to go into places that my principal wants to go, or whatever. I have to be ready for different places. Sometimes I go into different countries where I have to be armed. Some countries I can't be armed. It just depends on where I go, and I'm just armed with a knife. So you got to think about high volume areas where you might need ammo. I mean, if you look at these kids today that are carrying guns, they're carrying with Glock switches and 30-round magazines and stuff like that, and you're getting sprayed and preyed on. Multiple assailants are coming in. They're heavily armed. Sometimes these assailants are wearing body armor. So, you're in a gunfight and you're shooting chest thinking that you're getting these people down, and you may have to go to the head or have to take multiple shots, to take care of the threat, to stop it. Another thing is that, let's say that you get into a gun retention fight and the person reaches over the gun and their thumb hits the magazine release and drops the magazine out of the gun, and you are able to rip that gun away, and now you have just a one-shot pea shooter. You need to reload that gun. Another reason for having an extra magazine on you is in case you're, a big thing for malfunctions in semi-automatic pistols are either the ammo not being loaded correctly at the factory, somebody using reloads, and or just a bad primer or something of that nature, or the magazine itself failing, because the magazine is used a lot. It's loaded, it's unloaded, it's loaded, it's unloaded, and the spring tishing causes issues, and it doesn't feed the round right. So if the gun jams, or it malfunctions, and you've got to clear it, especially with a double feed, you're going to need to use a different magazine. You might have another officer there with you if you're working security, or you're working in law enforcement, or you're working in bodyguarding, and that person runs out of ammo, and you need to supply them with a magazine. So you need to keep the logistics the same with your guns and your magazines. There's multiple reasons to carry a magazine. I've always been of the nature of thinking that I'd rather have more and not need it than to not have it and need it and be in trouble and not have it than not. So, and if anybody ever goes, well, oh, you were looking for a gunfight because you were carrying multiple magazines, and when you go to court, they're going to get you. I can remember Mass Ayub saying that, the biggest thing is if you stick with what your local law enforcement's doing, it's court defensible. And as long as you can get an attorney that can articulate why you feel the need to carry those magazines, well, why does the police feel like they need to carry that many magazines? Well, again, these reasons are reasons to do that. And if you're a serious gunfighter or a serious person about carrying and protecting yourself and your families, this is the reasons why you need to carry an extra magazine. And you just You just got to be prepared, okay? So anyway, I hope that you don't ever have to use that gun or use those extra magazines. I hope that you don't ever get yourself into a situation where you have to be. But if you find yourself, after you've tried to avoid the 4S's as much as you can, you find yourself in that situation, I hope you have what you need when you need it. Anyway, God bless. Appreciate you guys. This is not a rebuttal to Justin's video. I just wanted to put an addition because it's a good subject to talk about. And if you ask about my background, I teach firearm classes, NRA classes, USCCA, which I've kind of pulled away from. I teach counterterrorism, active shooter education, active shooter response for law enforcement, EMS, civilians, all of it. You name it, I teach it. Teach military, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, just keep your powder dry and be safe out there. Thanks.